Hey everybody, my name is Jade from Fumdemic. This is Lydia. It's been a while. It's been a couple months. I haven't seen you guys in a second. I'm gonna tell you guys why. First of all, I just really haven't had anything super cool to show you. I've been taking a lot of time to focus on orders and optimizing my shop and cleaning things and doing spring cleaning and get all kinds of stuff just moved off to new homes so I can have room to expand my shop and do hopefully a lot of really cool new things this summer, and that's going really well. I've made leaps and bounds in that aspect of my life, and that's great. So yeah, I just really haven't had anything super new and major to show you, besides maybe the Jurassic Pro pump kit, which is like, I love it. It's really cool. It's a little goofy. A lot of people are like, just buy a Nexus, but it's like, a Jurassic Pro with a pump kit's kind of crazy. I think it's pretty neat. So yeah, I'm gonna do a video on that at some point, but that's not what the point of today is. So yeah, I just really haven't had anything new or cool or major or like big blaster release wise to show you guys. So yeah, that's where I've been. Been really busy working on your orders and trying to get everything out on time as fast as I can, and that's going pretty well. So new products. I partner with RoboMan. He's great. Love him. Tons of new stuff will be coming out through his shop and my shop, and we're gonna have a lot of really cool, high quality SLS parts and all that kind of stuff, and that's gonna be really awesome. And I'm super excited to work with him. They're great people and they do great work, and all of their stuff is absolutely top notch. You should definitely support them when you can. So RoboMan Productions and Fumdemic are now partnered up, so look for new products releasing very soon in that aspect. And I'm gonna get back on the design train in a little bit here. These next couple weeks are a little packed for me, and I will be very busy, but I will be trying to push out some new products soon. I have some new Pathfinder stuff up on the shop if you guys want to check that out. It's just relatively simple stuff, but cool. And then I have like a full line of Jurassic Pro parts out, and I'll be making more very soon. If you guys want anything specific for the Jurassic Pro that hasn't been released yet, let me know, and I can just make it. Um, I'll be doing a breach for that too, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so Jurassic Pro parts are coming out soon, or more are coming out soon. Let me know what you want, and I can make that, and that's great. In terms of blasters, what do we got? I have some surprises coming up that I'm not actually going to say anything about, but they're interesting surprises, and I think they will be really cool. There's some new secret projects, of course. I'm always working on some secret stuff. The Artificial Armory girls have been doing some really cool stuff recently. We're gonna have some super cool blasters in the works and coming out very soon. Like really soon. I can't even describe how soon they're gonna be coming out. Like days. Y-bows, we're gonna have new versions of those, different hardwares, different all kinds of stuff. We're essentially gonna do like a V2. Those are awesome. Definitely pick one of those up if you haven't. And yeah, besides that, I'm gonna work on getting a couple more of the Slug products into my shop. And yeah, just been catching up a lot with Slug leaving the hobby. We miss him a lot, and I hope that he is having a good time wherever he is. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing the Slug stuff, more of the Slug stuff very soon, getting some of the pistols in and all that kind of stuff. But that's just gonna take a little bit. So Flywheelers will be coming out probably late summer. I have a couple things in the works, a couple different types of flywheelers that I'm excited to be able to produce and make, build. That's going to be really fun. Just need some time on those, and that's super exciting. So I'm really excited to get the flowers in the shop. That is something that I have been waiting for a long time, and I hope you guys enjoy them too. Blaster reviews. I've done a couple personal builds for myself recently. Um, I've been going to a lot of games and stuff like that, so I'll probably be doing some. Oh, well, this video is technically going to be my Rectory review, so stay tuned for that in a couple minutes because this thing's sweet. But I built some kind of cool stuff. I think this thing's pretty cool and definitely video worthy, so I'll be doing a video on this relatively soon-ish. Just stay tuned for that. I want to get more time on the field with it before I do a video on it, but it's super sweet, and maybe a legacy video soon too, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, I think that pretty much catches us up. Lydia's doing very well, as you can see. She is enjoying life, and summer is in full swing. Happy Pride Month, guys! It's June, and everything is going really well. All right, I want to talk about CO2, the wrecked company, and then the wrecked jury in not that order. I'm going to talk about the wrecked company first. So Wrecked as a company came onto the scene like kind of during COVID, and they had like this M4 looking thing. I don't even know what it's called. It might literally be called the M4, but it just was a miss, total miss. They had like this breech system that didn't really work very well. The seals were kind of bad. It wasn't like full auto. It wasn't like double action or anything like that. It just everything that a Talon Claw does the same thing better, and proprietary mags, it didn't really work very well. Full length darts only. It was a good attempt, and they tried, but a lot of people didn't pick them up. And then after that, they put out this little single shot pistol that also looked way too realistic. That honestly wasn't very good. Nobody really wants a CO2 single shot pistol when you have all kinds of flywheel options that are way better for even sometimes better prices now, and honestly, a hammer shot essentially is better than that at that point. So the Mark II came out, and the Mark II is one of my favorite blasters. I love my Mark II. It is one of my favorite sidearms. Really accurate, high FPS, good ammo capacity. But then this thing came out, and I was optimistic at first because CO2. CO2 is kind of scary. It's loud, it goes and it hisses and all kinds of crazy stuff, and I just honestly wasn't interested because where am I going to use CO2? It's loud, it sounds kind of real steelish sometimes, especially to onlookers, and this was a semi-real looking profile. Like that kind of, especially when you're doing that, looks pretty real. So I wasn't very interested in the Wrecked Jury when it came out. I thought it was neat, and yeah, that was until I got to use one in a game a couple nights ago. And then I used it again at another game, and this thing is incredible. Holy crap. So, we're going to start at the front and move right on back. This is a, I don't want to say it's real steel-esque, but the way it operates is so similar to a real steel revolver. It's an absolute blast to use on the field. It is super immersive. I feel like I'm using a real revolver when I'm using it. I'm like, big ironed up. It's great, guys. I like high noon people from all the way across the field. Definitely get one of these if you are allowed to use CO2 at your local wars. You get about 60 shots per canister. I think the canister costs like $5 each, maybe. I actually have no idea how much they cost, so don't quote me on that, I guess, but I'm pretty sure they're about $5 each, and like, it's just great. You got an orange tip up here, very cylindrical, thick body. It's not very real steel-esque looking, very bright color. It'd be hard to mistake for a real steel blaster, but yeah, so you have these little cylinder boys that just drop right out, and you get 6 shots in there, and this is double action, so you can like, you can see that hammer pulling back. That's just the action. You can also pull that back all the way. There's a little nipple here, and when the hammer hits that nipple, it shoots air out the front, and that's how your dart launches. It's hitting about 100 FPS, or at least this one is. I've seen them go up to about 130 and as low as 80, so make sure the one you get isn't a lemon, and I think you can do an air restrictor mod on these, but I would just leave it stock because it's really cool stock. But yeah, so cylinders. You can just get a bunch of these for really cheap from Wrecked. Like, they really did a good job with that. The first thing I thought of when I saw this blaster was, oh, I bet there was going to be a lot of aftermarket cylinders that are going to be like 3D printed and stuff like that, but no. It has a spring-loaded mechanism in there, and it's all metal on the inside. This is all metal too on the inside, and these are really cheap. Cheap enough where it's not even worth making a 3D printed version because they're so cheap. You can get like 2 of these for like, I think like $15. So I don't see why you wouldn't just get the real ones, and then you can get a bunch of these and just slap them in all the time. I actually only have one, and I just use this one and load off the field. it kind of has like this little thing that you just push down and it locks all the way in. And then that's essentially the entire thing. Reloading the air canister is as simple as just like twisting it back on, and you can. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to show you guys how it's done right now, but you can look up how to do that. I'm just doing a comprehensive overview. So yeah, this is how it looks, and it just looks so good. Like, it's really comfortable to use. It has weight to it. Like, it's not like a plastic blaster. There's metal parts in here that give it some actual weight, and it operates just like a real steel revolver. Like, you can pull this hammer back, and it makes the action really snappy. It's really light. It's not super loud, but you do get that blast of air around your hand, and it just feels really good. Especially when you're like beaming people from all the way across the field. You know, you just pull it back, and you really make their day, and it's so good. And when you're in a rush, you can just keep pulling the trigger, and it will just double action feed the entire time. I've had no failures with this. It's just been super great. There were entire rounds where I had like a Kestrel and some other really good blasters on me, and I just used this the entire time. Like, I left my blasters at spawn and just ran out with this thing. It's just so much fun to use, and that's really where this hobby shines for me, is blasters that are really fun to use. Sorry, Lydia. I scared my cat. This thing is really good. And if you like having fun on the field, and actually, like, it's relatively competitive. Like, I think that this gets probably better performance than my Mark II, just simply based on the fact that you can get 6 shots off really fast, and they're really accurate shots, especially if you're using good darts, and then just, run and hide. It's super easy to use. You can really just like get super immersed in the battle by using that double action hammer and just pulling that hammer back and getting ready to peek corners. And like, when I'm out on the nerd field, I'm sliding around on the ground, I'm like jumping over barriers, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and sometimes it's really hard to do that with a large format blaster like the Talon Claw, where I have to reload it. I really like blasters like this for sniping and for sitting kind of in a located position and defending. Now, blasters like this are amazing for offense. They are fast to use. You can dual wield them super easily. The hammer action is just amazing, and I'm definitely going to get a second one because, like, this just feels right. I can't say enough good things about it. These are like $50 too. Like, you'd be an idiot not to get one of these. Like, they're so fun. If your local wars allow them, definitely get one of these. They're a little loud, as I said. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear how loud these are, but like, it's got a pop to it. It's not any worse than a cap gun, but it definitely has a pop to it that sounds pretty scary sometimes. But it's super immersive, and I just can't recommend it enough. Like, wow, this thing is just so cool. I'm so enamored by this blaster. I've been nerfing for a long time now, and I've never just picked up a blaster and just felt so at home with the action and just everything. And like, there were probably 3 or 4 rounds where I used nothing but this one blaster that my friend loaned me just to try it out, just because I was having so much fun with it. And I like literally cannot say enough good things about it. I don't have a single negative thing to say about this, except for the Picatinny rail is like kind of, I think, a little bit sized incorrectly. It just seems to be a little bit thick for my real steel attachments, but like, whatever, I guess. It's not really meant to have a rail attachment on it. And yeah, like, if you're in the market for an amazing sidearm and you don't want to deal with batteries or like, reloading it each time you have to fire a dart, this thing is the thing to get. Wrecked Jury is the one. And Wrecked absolutely knocked it out of the park with this. I cannot say enough good things about it. I'm like just so hyped about this blaster. I literally played last night at a war and had such a good time with it. Get this blaster, spend the $50, like spend another $50 on cylinders and CO2, and just like educate yourself on CO2 a little bit first, figure out how you can discharge it and all that kind of stuff, when you don't want to use it, and enjoy it, because this thing is super special, and I absolutely love this, and I hope that I hope that Wrecked makes more stuff like this, because they are going in the right direction with this blaster, and absolutely want to see more stuff like this. There's cool attachments coming out. I'm sure somebody's going to do a big iron kit or some bullshit like that, and it's just going to be amazing. But, for the meantime, get yourself one of these, enjoy it, have some fun with it, live your wild, wild west fantasy, or, like, I don't know. This reminds me most of CSGO. I used to play CSGO as a kid, and I was terrible with the revolver. Like, I was horrible with it. I was actually horrible with the game, but I still had fun playing it, and I was especially really bad with the revolver, but this makes me feel like I'm really good with a revolver because it's just so easy to use, and it just brings me back, So definitely pick up one of these. Can't say enough good things about it. I don't have a single negative thing to say. The CO2 is super easy to use. It's super intuitive. The entire thing is all contained within this package. You don't need any tools. It does it all. And that amazes me. Absolutely awesome blaster. Thank you guys for watching. Please check out my Etsy. I could really use some more accessory sales there. Please check out my Instagram, my Facebook, the Facebook page you like. Subscribe if you want to. That'd be super cool. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you very soon.